Oh,
have you?
Oh, yeah.
See, it's news to me that women have hairy asses. I didn't realise that happened. It makes perfect sense. I just didn't realise. Obviously, I've no reason to find out. Black hair.
Oh,
Harriet!
Harriet already.
Harriet, where are you?
Spouting nonsense, everybody!
Hooray!
Hello,
I think that was our best start ever. We're talking about black arse hair.
Spouting nonsense. Back here with Kerrisdale. Back here with Kerrisdale, still in the fucking Cotswolds. Fantastic. We've got our 3 fantastic people back with us. Look at this. We got Love Dev Bar.
Yay! Hello, Love Dev.
I'm looking the right way, yeah.
Hi, Brahim.
Hi.
Hello, Brahim.
Love Dev.
Great name.
I'm all right, yeah. I'm not bad. Started to get back on the old exercise.
Yeah, you've just been for a walk down the corner shop to get Yeah. Remind us where you are.
I'm in Birmingham.
He's in King's Landing. So if you see him walking around, he's on his exercise. Don't stop him. He's in the zone. We got the fantastic Harriet Dyer back with her.
Hello.
Did I even clap at that bit? Oh, Lord.
Wow.
Hello, love.
You get the whole screen.
How are you?
Take me away from this big space.
Love Dev didn't get that. Racist.
How are you this week, Harriet? And remind me. Oh, God, it's going all over. Have you spelled your name
Love
wrong?
Dev got that sexist.
No, it's right, actually.
What was it? I thought it had an I in it for some reason. Harriet, how are you this week?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, how are you?
And I'm fine, thank you. And where are you this week?
Well, if you look very closely in Love Dev's hair, I'm actually in that grey streak at the front.
Jim, close up on Love Dev.
White, silver streak.
Silver streak.
We'll have a close up of Love Dev in a minute. Oh, he was waiting for that.
I waiting for it.
No, Love Dev. Jim's not.
Oh,
there she is.
Harriet,
where he cracked his skull open.
And of course, we've got the lovely Jonathan Mayer back with us.
Oh, I can see the underside of your bosom.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. It's a bit sweaty. I could hide you under there.
Doesn't make any sense when it's just me on the screen, though, does it?
No, I know. You were like that for ages on the Jonathan, how are you this week?
I'm very well. Still losing track of the days a bit.
It's Friday,
which I'm a bit worried about.
Yeah,
I mean, this is really good. It's the spine of my week. I go, Friday, start counting again. But definitely gets Tuesday, Wednesday, it gets very blurred. Very blurred.
That'll be the alcohol as well.
There is that.
Remind us where you are.
I'm in Moss Side, my lover.
Affluent area of Moss Side. I love it.
It's very affluent round here.
I can imagine. Anyway.
We're loaded. We are.
Well, look at the amount of books, my darling.
How aspirational of you.
If anybody wants to rob anybody in Moss Side, look at them books. They were get down there, donated and ready. Thank you, David.
David.
So this is Spouting Nonsense. As usual, those that join us live, you know this is the comedy chat show. We have no idea of the topics we're going to chat about. It's all left to chance and these fucking 3 nutters. First things first, we're going to go through the facts. We've got facts. Which one of these 3 relate to? Fact 1: who has grandchildren called Seth and Clara? Who has grandchildren called Seth and Clara? Grandchildren.
Well, I hope it ain't me.
Anyway, interesting. Well, I think that's narrowed it down somewhat. Who used Glade air freshener as deodorant?
To be honest, that could be any one of us on the road for 4 days, couldn't it? Like, fuck it, I'm going on stage.
Yeah, use anything. Baby, what? Oh, I love it. Fact 3: who pretended to be deaf to get free entry into the cinema?
No.
That's stupendous. Horrendous.
Now, I will say in their defence, whoever it may be, that quite often I pretended family members are deaf to get us out of some scrapes. Anyway.
I think we should have a week where the facts are about you, Keris. I think that would be fascinating. We definitely need to add some facts about you, Keris. There's loads of facts.
I could just tell you shit about you. Anyway, so if you're watching at home, please share the links so we can get more viewers and also viewers at a later date, or donate if you can. But more importantly, like, comment, and we'll read them out as soon as they come up. As soon as I got time to. Love Dev, let's go straight on to one of yours. As you already know, I don't read these before. I literally only got them back 2 minutes ago anyway. I don't read any of these, so it's always a surprise. Right, Love Dev, what's one thing... Oh, hello. What's one thing your parents have forbidden you to do growing up? Love Dev, what's your parents forbidden you to do?
I always wanted a motorbike, and my parents are dead against it. They were like, no, you're not having a motorbike at all. I really wanted one.
But now you're an adult, would you not consider it?
Haven't really thought about it.
What does Sheila Barbados think? Would she like?
She's not fussed.
Would she like to get on the back of your bike?
Probably.
You call her Sheila Barbados. That makes me happy.
Who calls her Sheila Barbados?
I just love the fact you call her Sheila Barbados.
Indian woman, Sheila Barbados.
I've got a mountain bike now, so.
Just called her.
If they let me, I probably would have had a motorbike by now. Maybe.
I mean, they are very dangerous. My son's.
How old are you, darling?
My son's.
How old are you?
42 now.
Right, so in about 10 years, you'll be having a midlife crisis. You're bound to buy one then, aren't you? Really,
basically. That's a car, isn't it?
Too young for you. You'll be fine then.
And you'll keep it in the living room because you don't want it to be staying outside.
That's right.
It'll be a sunshine bike. That's what my son's father's bike. The Ducati sat in the living room and he polished it.
And on the second time you go out, you'll come off it and you'll never go on it again. So it'll be fine.
yeah. Hopefully you'll still be alive. And your parents will be like, told you so. Anyway.
And she'll be like, hey, love Dev, what are you doing?
Exactly. Harriet, is there anything that your parents forbade you to do? I mean, let's take out, most parents that go, don't drink, don't do drugs. So obviously there's some things you never fucking listen to. But is there anything else they told you not to do?
Well, they were quite loosey-goosey, really.
No shit, mate.
There was when I was my mum didn't want me to get anything pierced until I was about, I don't know, 15
months.
15. And then when I was 15 or when I was 17, one or the other, I got everything pierced. And bumped into my gran. I had like both eyebrows, my nose, all down my ears, ear, and bumped into my gran, and she was, did I ever told you this before? My gran was like, here, Harriet Dyer, you look like a Christmas tree. And then, but not really forbidden, but my mum didn't really want me to be a lesbian. But I don't think that was like homophobic. I think it was just because my dad had just left her for a man, so she was feeling tender.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's understandable, isn't it? I think that makes perfect sense. Not you as well. Not you as well.
Yeah, no.
She looked quite like me. Not you as well.
So it was just facial area pierced. Harriet?
Yeah?
It was just facial piercings, was it?
Define facial.
Well, I think that word has a number of definitions. Yeah, I've got a few things in my head right there.
Jonathan, did your parents forbid you to do anything?
Well, rather like Harriet, I don't recall anything absolute beyond sort of literal crime. My parents were definitely not keen on like the tattoos, piercings, things. Although they always like. So I got my ear pierced first at 19, and I think before I did it, my mum was like, "Yo, you can't do. Why would you do that?" And then I did it. And she went, "Oh, you look lovely." So whenever I did something, they were fine with it. And like I actually got my first tattoo after the bombing in Manchester. You can't really see it, can you? But so it's only recently. I was in my 40s. And again, they were like, I think if I'd said I'm getting a tattoo, they'd have gone, oh no, don't. But actually, once I got it, although my mother was quite senile, she went, oh, that's lovely, that is. So, you know, yeah, they were. Say again?
If you want a matching one.
Yeah. Bless her. Yeah, you know, she was an adventurer. I reckon she would have done, actually. See, my mother was a bit of a wild woman, really, but it was all under wraps. So I think she respected adventure. She respected you if you went out and experienced life a bit. Drugs, I think, were the main thing that definitely I never shared with the parents.
Good. My parents are quite open. As you know, I've done various things in my life that they didn't really care about. Hello, Rebecca. Thank you for joining us. If you're joining us now, please share the links so we can get more viewers. You can also donate, but more importantly, like, comment, and we'll read them out as soon as we can get to them. Jesus Christ, Harriet, I've got an essay to fucking read here. I've just scrolled up. We're going to go to one of Harriet's now. Bear with me while I read it. Jim ain't going to sit on the screen because all of us would disappear. You are single. Take it in. You have a fair-sized house. One day, whilst eating your breakfast, you discover a person has been hiding in the bed in which your chinchillas sleep.
Brilliant.
And as a result, has been full-on living with you for months without you knowing. The person apologizes. They are charming, easy on the eye, and very complimentary. The options are A, you say, sling your hook, you bloody weirdo. Or B, pull up a pew and let's discuss this situation over my world-famous paella. Paella. So, you've got a stranger in a fair-sized house living in your chinchilla's bed. Do you tell them to fuck off, or do you invite them to stay and potentially have sex with them? Harriet.
Oh, I think they're weird. So I say fuck off.
You say fuck off? Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't where I thought that was going at all.
You think they're weird. You've got a bed for chinchillas.
Yeah.
Because I've got chinchillas.
In a bed, though.
I thought they'd
stay in a chinchilla bed, not in a fucking Duvon mattress.
How large is this person then? Are you like are they like miniature?
No, I've got a lot of chinchillas, so they pushed all the beds together.
Have you actually got any chinchillas?
Not in real life.
No. Okay, cool. Let me read this out 1 second. Both my parents were never allowed to get piercings, so they said they'd seen many school fights where kids pulled each other's earrings out. Still makes you cringe.
You went to a rough school.
Probably not, mate. Harriet. So Harriet thinks that chinchillas don't live in a cage and sleep in a box. She thinks they've got 4 individual beds that they group together so an adult can sleep in it. So are the chinchillas just sleeping on him?
He's using them as a blanket.
The chinchillas are on holiday.
Oh, okay, hang on. We just need to clarify this. Where have they gone on holiday?
To King's Standing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Top of the hill, see all the Birmingham. Great view.
They've got low standards, haven't they?
So, Harriet, aren't you worried then if you tell the stranger to go, you'll be lonely because your chinchillas aren't there? I can't believe I'm asking these questions.
No, I'm amazed. This is where our lives are now. This is what
I know. I feel like I'm like a serious journalist, and I'm like, well, hang on a minute.
David,
let me ask you this question.
You've hosted on a stage at Glastonbury, and now you're asking about fictional chinchillas.
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
you're asking.
What's their names? Chinchillas.
You're trying to pick apart holes in a story it's just a topic for conversation. They don't have to be true.
I know, mate.
They're going on holiday.
Hang on. But instead of saying that initially, as I find out, you actually embellish the story, which is what makes me laugh. Instead
it's much better.
Much better. Made up, you idiot. You go, oh, they're on holiday at King's Standing.
King's Standing. King's bloody Standing.
That's why I pushed you on it, because you've always got an answer. Oh, Pete, I had a dream last night when my ears were pierced by a large man with a nail. Oh, interesting.
You apparently want to get bummed in the ear. Did you know, Peter? I mean, that's clearly what that means, isn't it?
So, Jonathan.
Hello.
On the subject of chinchillas and a house guest, would you invite?
Have you seen that? This is a true story. There are stories on the internet about people who discover people living in like the roof space or the crawl space in their houses, and they've set up home, and they find
not in their chinchilla bed.
Not in their chinchilla beds, admittedly, as far as I'm aware. But and they find because they things go missing, and so they put in motion cameras, and they're triggered, and that it has actually happened. So anyway, that's interesting. I would definitely throw out the chinchillas. I'm not living with fluffy rats, but a handsome stranger who's being complimentary in the hopes of getting a bed, darling. That sounds like a weekend in my 20s. Yeah. I absolutely would welcome them in.
Why would you not want?
Depends what they're prepared to do to get to stay, is what I would answer.
So now what you're saying is the what is it when they live in your house? A squatter.
A squatting. If they're prepared to squat me, really fucking squat me, then I'll let them stay.
Jonathan, you had a squatter, you've now got a hostage. Yeah,
it's not,
cool.
It's not my problem. That's not my problem.
That's not your fault.
I'll let him leave. I'm not going to keep him. I'm not going to keep him.
Would you tell him to get lost, or would you invite him in?
I would have a little chat with them and see how long they've been living there. Are they previous owners?
Try and get
Well, you think they've sold you the house and stayed? That's brilliant.
Yeah. Remember the little borrowers? The borrowers.
Yeah.
I used to think they were real.
They are.
They are real. They are real, Lifter. What's wrong with you?
Except the lead borrower is dead. Anyway, let's crack on. He died recently, so he's not here anymore.
Soon, Karen.
Yeah, we're going to crack on.
Who is the lead borrower?
Ian Holm played the lead borrower in the film. The actor Ian Holm recently died. The whole of Middle Earth is mourning his loss.
When did he die? Recently?
About 3 weeks ago, a month.
He was in Lord of the Rings, wasn't he?
Yeah, great actor, a brilliant actor, let's be honest.
Yeah, lovely. Anyway, if you're watching at home, listen to this nonsense at home, please join in.
Please join in as we insult dead actors.
Yeah. It's one of our various topics we talk about. Tell us whether your chinchillas sleep in actual beds, whether you'd let a stranger stay in your house, or whether you chuck him out. Thank you.
Thank you. She's good. She's very good. She is good.
Anyway, we're going to go on. Please share the link if you're watching. Share it so we can have viewers at a later date as well. I'm going to move on to one of Jonathan's bound to be foreigners. But
I'm delighted to say that my desirable property to buy in Glossop of the week, James, if you would, is the Poplars on Talbot Road. Lovely. Isn't it lovely? It's a period-style villa home with stunning original features, including decorative plaster, a terrazzo-tiled entrance hallway and pillared open entrance, high ceilings, large rooms, 6 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 3 reception rooms, a conservatory. It needs development. Let's not pretend it needs work, but it's in a prestigious and elevated location. It commands amazing views of the surrounding countryside, and yet has all the amenities of Glossop to hand. So highly recommended, all for under 900,000 actually. No. I mean, I have to say, that one we showed last week for $1.5 million. Bit footballers' wives to me. That's the kind of house I would like. That, I could definitely go there.
Would you pay 900,000?
If I had like 900,000, it's gorgeous, isn't it lovely?
There's no picture.
What do you mean? We're literally looking at the picture right now.
No, I
in the screen. You must be able to see it. To the right of your head, like here.
You can't see it there.
No, there's nothing.
Between you and me, middle of the screen.
I'll show you.
You can't see it.
We don't care, Harriet. We're just saying. I'll send them to you, darling. I'll send them to you later. I'll send them to you later.
That wood floor. Oh, she's like
Terrazzo. It's really nice. Really lovely. Original decorative plaster. High ceilings, love. Go see it. Go see it. There's obviously nobody listening. Get in the
Hang on, put it back up again, Jim. Put it back up again.
Yeah, put it back up, Jim, one more time.
Harriet, look now.
You're fucking winding me up, isn't
Genuinely, there is. Honestly, there is. I promise you, I'm not.
Hang on, put it back up, Jim, a minute.
You have to take a photograph and show her that it is actually that. I can't believe you can't see it.
I'll show you.
Look there. Can you see, Harriet? There it is. There it is.
I can't see that.
Oh.
How do I show you that I can't see?
We believe you, darling. We believe you. I actually believe you. I'll send you all the pictures I've got later on today. It's on Rightmove. Have a look, darling. Honestly, if you've got nearly $1 million to spare, honestly.
Jonathan, we're going to go on to one of your subjects. If you're watching at home, please share the link.
Jonathan,
yes.
That's not been replacing Library of the Week.
So not. My Library of the Week, ladies and gentlemen, is the, James, if you would, the Royal Portuguese Cabinet of Reading, or Royal Portuguese Reading Room in Rio de Janeiro. The institution was founded in 1837. It is the largest collection of Portuguese literature outside of Portugal. Its Gothic Renaissance style by Rafael da Silva e Castro and Emperor Pedro laid the foundation stone in 1880. And the building was inaugurated in 1887 by Isabel, Princess Imperial of Brazil, and her husband, Prince Gaston, Count of
No, did you see that, Harriet?
No.
Wow. I'll send it you. And James, last picture, James. And my Library of the Week near Kerris is a bit of a swizz for you, Kerris. It's a circulating library and reading room in Bath, England. There were about 600 circulating libraries. This was founded in 1787, catered to the elite and famous, including royalty, nobles, knights, plus military and religious leaders, so you wouldn't be allowed in. But it has actually closed, so not really a problem. Thank you.
Fabulous. I like the fact that Harriet was not involved in any of that.
Harriet can't see any of them. Harriet, I'll send them all to you.
That library in Rio de Janeiro was
amazing. James, that picture, can you put it back up? It's incredible, actually. Isn't it amazing? Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom. How small the little chairs are. It's huge. How high it is. But imagine being on that third one to the second story and trying to get a book off the top, like the 10th shelf, like those top shelves. How high that actually is. It's amazing, isn't it?
What's that thing in the middle? What's that round thing in the middle?
Harriet, what did you think of it?
Chandelier.
Oh,
Harriet, what do you think?
Harriet's favourite one. Harriet's favourite one so far. We're going to lighten up the mood a bit. Thank you very much, Pete. Pete saw the pictures of the library and the house. So, Jonathan, if you were a cocktail, which one would you be?
Well, do you remember last week that Harriet said, like, if your head was a jug, you're pouring it? I thought, actually, if we're going to be face juice, we might as well be a cocktail. So I thought, like, what cocktail would I be? I'd love to. I think what I'd like to be is a very dry gin martini, possibly a dirty gin martini with slightly too many olives in it. Yeah, very good. Which is one of my favourite cocktails. But if I'm honest, I suspect I'm something a lot more fruity, like a banana daiquiri, like with pulp and a cherry in. So, like, I'm somewhere in between those two. My suggestions for you are, I think.
Did we ask for those?
No, but you're getting them. Love Dev is one of those dangerous nightclub cocktails, you know, with the nitrogen in, so it smokes.
Oh!
And you have to do it right, because if you drink it in the wrong way, it buries a hole in your stomach and kills you. Yeah. And Harriet is a blue wicked, but you know, spiked. No, I'm kidding. But you know one of those bright blue cocktails, like a B-52, one of those bright cocktails, but like laced with LSD. And you, Keris, it seems to me, you're a penis colada served in a pineapple, but with like a sparkler and tinsel and a unicorn and just gorgeous fabulousness happening.
Sounds about right.
What do you think? What do you think? That's my idea.
That's brilliant,
Jonathan. Yeah, penis colada. You said.
Did I say that? That's a Victoria Wood joke. I apologise.
Oh, I love it. Weirdly, I was going to say pina colada as my cocktail, but penis colada I like even more. I love a creamy cocktail, bit of alcohol, more cream than anything. So, like, I'm talking a screaming orgasm or a pina colada. Harriet, what cocktail would you be, my darling?
Many years ago, I don't know whether it's a regular cocktail that everyone has. No, it's not. No, you probably had it.
Cow's milk and cider.
Is it petrol and moonshine?
Oh well, I used to be known at parties to like they go, oh, get us a cocktail, and I'd just like mind sweep loads of people's drinks, put them together, and then once I ate a whole leak. But that's another story. Anyway, if I was a cocktail, I would be. Have you ever had a squashed frog?
Okay, now 2 questions. No, 1 question, 2 concepts. Do you mean a cocktail, or are you talking about you've actually squashed a frog and drank it?
No. This is an actual cocktail.
Brilliant.
Something to do with K2O and WKD?
No. I think it's Bailey's and maybe Midori, and then you put it in and it curdles and it looks like a squashed frog.
And that's what do you like it though? It sounds disgusting.
Well, I don't really like cocktails, and that's the only one I had. So
I'll put you off them for life. I do like. There's another Bailey's one, Bailey's and caramel vodka, I think it is, or something like that.
You don't like a nice red snapper or anything?
Cocksucking cowboy. Thank you very much. Love Deb.
Cocksucking cowboy.
Is that what you call it?
Cocksucking cowboy.
What's that?
I have to tell you,
like caramel vodka.
That is not what it means in my world.
Well, that's what he told me it was.
Did he make you wear a hat?
He did.
Dark and stormy.
Eh?
A dark and stormy cocktail.
Oh, what's that?
Nice.
It's Gosling rum with ginger beer. Simple.
Ooh, that sounds nice. Refreshing.
But it's got a good name, isn't it?
Refreshing.
Yes. You're dark and stormy.
I am partial to a Disaronno sour as well. Anyone tried All Killer No Filler Filthy Baby? I've not been brave.
Is that named after the thingy pod with Kiri?
No, I wouldn't imagine so. There's many things out there called All Killer No Filler. That just sounds like a cocktail. What's in it, Rebecca? Tell us. So there's all your cocktails. Thank you very much. I feel like drinking now. Should we go for a drink, everybody?
I'd love to.
A cup of tea.
Actual drink.
Cup of tea.
What is it?
It's a cup of tea. It's literally a cup of Earl Grey tea. I mean, obviously, yes.
Juice.
Lemon, milk.
No, just milk. I'm very vulgar, darling.
I
drink.
Oh, anyway, right, we're going to carry on. If you're watching at home, please share the link so we can get more people to join us. And you're joining us live. So like, comment. We will put the live comments along the bottom and we'll read them out as soon as we can get to them. Let's go for another of Love Devs. I'm scared. God is deleting your favourite TV show from history and allows you to pick one scene from it to be immortalised. What show and what scene do you pick? So Love Dev, go for it.
Mine would be People Just Do Nothing. Anyone seen that?
It's on Netflix, isn't it?
Wow, you've never seen People Just Do Nothing? Okay, well,
thank you, David. You're quite right.
It's brilliant. Anyway, there's a scene in there where there's an Asian guy and he's.
That's why we haven't watched it, mate.
Watch it. It's on Netflix now.
Yeah, I've seen it and I'm like, oh, Asian.
Oh, she's such a BNP member.
There's a scene in there anyway. He's got a Polish girlfriend and they're both fighting with each other. So he's swearing at her in Punjabi and she's swearing at him in Polish, and it's just a brilliant scene.
I have seen it
I
on
found
Netflix.
very funny.
Now, after your recommendation, I shall pop
You
it
should
on
watch
for
it.
a watch. Harriet?
No, I
Yeah.
can't think of anything yet. Can you go
You don't-
to
okay.
Jonathan first?
All right,
I've got
then.
so many choices. So many choices.
Jonathan.
Well, so many choices, really.
Oh.
I mean, there's Buffy. Clearly, that would be problematic if they deleted that. And I'd need something where I think it'd have to be one where Willow went evil and became either a witch or a vampire. That was always fabulous. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're wrong, and you should rethink your life. Dynasty, and I think the scene I would have to preserve there would be the second to last ever episode in which there's this massive fight in the hotel where Joan Collins and Stephanie Beacham are trying to claw each other's eyes out, and the boys are punching this. And if you see 50 Greatest Endings on television with Cilla Black, I do the whole of the Dynasty section, even though I'm not supposed to. I said, they went, is there anything else you'd like to? I said, can I talk about Dynasty, can I? And they went, well, all right then. Anyway, I was going, "Bleh!" And that instead of having different talking heads, it's just me talking about Dynasty because I'm mental
As it
about
should be, my love, as it should be.
As it should be, darling.
Right.
What, like Golden Girls? God, what would I preserve from Golden Girls? I mean,
Golden Girls.
I mean, or Malcolm in the Middle. I mean, oh my God, there's so.
Just quickly, anything recent? Have you watched telly in the last 2 decades?
Granger.
Well, I might have done, but I might not have liked it.
Exactly, because we like the classics, don't we? Classics. I mean,
I'm trying to think what I've actually just gone like that. That's fucking magic. In recent telly, I suppose Modern Family actually is quite a lot in that I really like. In British television, though, the trouble is I'm trying to think of it. Oh, People Just Do Nothing. You love it.
David, that's the name. People Just Do Nothing.
Did you watch Staged with David Tennant and Michael Sheen?
No, I've got it on record. I've recorded it all.
Unbelievably good. And I think the bit from that I'd have to absolutely keep, and I'm not going to ruin it for you, I am, is the bit with Judi Dench. The bits with Judi Dench where she comes in from that are absolutely genius, and they do it all distant. They do it all on Zoom because it's all about the fact that they've stopped having a theatre thing.
I'll have to watch it, David. It was People Just Do Nothing. It's on Netflix, iPlayer apparently as well. That's good.
That's the guys right there.
Oh, there you go.
Radio station in London.
Oh, are they Irish?
Yeah, that's Asim Chaudhry. No, Asim Chaudhry.
Oh, okay. No idea.
He's funny. He's really
very funny, guys. They're all funny. They're all brilliant in it.
Come back with the cocktail.
Milk. Your first ingredient is milk. Not drinking that.
I would be all over that. I would be all over that. Yeah.
Of course you would, you dirty bitch. Dirty Gareth. Dirty.
Harriet is this country. Oh, yeah, Harriet, this country. Hey.
Oh, my God, I love this country.
This country.
So what your favourite scene?
It is the Cotswolds. They live 10 minutes down the road from me. I worked with them all.
All of them, love her.
I didn't even realise, Joe, and now you've said it. Yeah, because I was going to say End of the Fucking World because I really liked that.
Yeah.
But this country. The final to last, what's it called when it's the one before the last one?
Penultimate.
Penultimate.
The penultimate episode of this series where they're waiting for the bishop at the train station is the funniest thing with the chickens. It's so funny. It's so funny.
It's so good.
Bishop and chickens.
It is literally, that is where I live. Like, people think that they're like, this is funny. Does this happen? I mean, I've been fucked by an owl here. We've got scarecrows all around the place. We have weird little festivals. It is exactly like
Derry Girls. Derry Girls. I've just realised what am I talking about. Derry Girls. I'd have to preserve something of the nun.
Oh my God, I thought you were having a stroke. Derry Girls. Derry Girls.
I am very elderly, Keris. Thanks.
Well, I know. Mate.
Why don't you fuck off?
Wait. If you're watching at home, please share the link. We're going to move on to another one of Harriet's long-winded ones. Share the link.
Longer, I think.
Right, ready? Let me take a breath. The whole time this show hasn't actually been going out to anyone. Every week, whilst this show has been happening, Jim has been using special software to gather all our info and has subsequently been using our identities to harvest organs on the dark web. What forum would you use to complain about him on?
Comedy Collective.
Comedy Collective.
Play. £10 an organ.
Bullshit.
Oh my God. Who'd want our organs? I mean, who would want anything that any of us had used ever? I mean, honestly, it's not being funny, but we are worn out. Oh, honey.
No,
Gareth, darling, you're a beautiful and wonderful person, but let's be honest, you've lived.
Yeah,
you have fucking lived. You have lived.
My heart hasn't really been used for anything.
Please. Oh, you mean in terms of love? Yeah, but it's been used in practical terms, in terms of drugs and sex and rock and roll. It's been used like fuck, baby. So
I mean, define practical.
Oh, sorry, bit late to the party.
Harriet, where would you complain? Which forum?
On Facebook Marketplace.
Yes. Yes.
And it's harvesting. It's not organ. It's musical organs.
Musical organs.
Oh well, you can have that. I don't use it. It's right there.
I'm going to put it on the local village forum because they're always hives of information. And
I love that. I think the Cotswolds is like Cornwall, Caris.
Oh yeah, like fucking inbred.
Inbred.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna. I love you, Karis. I love you more than I can possibly say. You make me feel slightly bisexual, and now I can look up at your underbosoms, and I just want you to know that.
And then I put you off, put you back.
No, totally doesn't. They are magnificent. They are like a continental shelf. I love them.
I was talking about my croc.
I love your croc.
Who's saying they're all fuck knows though? If you've only just joined us, it's all fucking
somebody who doesn't want to make much money.
Jonathan, what forum would you complain about Jim on?
Why would I complain? At my age, I'd be grateful for the attention. I'm all right with it.
You'll get more attention by going on the forum.
Another one of Jonathan's topics. If you could go back in time and fix something you regret, you regret doing or not doing, would you do it? And what would you fix, Jonathan? What would you do? Is there anything? Or
it's really serious.
I don't regret anything I've done. I only regret the things I haven't done.
No, me too. It's only the paths you don't take that you regret, isn't it? Really. Sorry, this is really serious. Now we've got to a jolly place, and I've turned it into a misery fest.
All right, there's bound to be a joke in it in a minute.
You fucking knew. No, there's no joke. There's no fucking joke. That's just calm it right down.
What was the question?
All right, there's the joke.
There we go. There we go. If you go back in time, something you regret doing.
You can't see it. You can't see it. You can't see it. If you can't see it, sorry. If you go back in time and fix one thing in your past, can you see that? No. All right. So if you, all right. Oh yeah, you can. Brilliant.
Oh, you can. All right.
All right. So. I'm with you, Karis. I think our mistakes make us who we are, and most of the things that like most of the big things that I think about, I think, well, if I did that, I would never meet Leon. I would never, I'd never end up in comedy. I would never. There's all kinds of things I wouldn't want to do that, but there is just one, and it's pretty serious. Sorry, but like when I was 18 and I first came out, and I'd really struggled to get to the gay centre and go to the youth club. There was this bloke who was this Muslim bloke, and he recognized me, and I'd known him as a child, and he said, "Oh, you're Jonathan Mayer, aren't you?" And we used to go around to their houses when we were all kids in the 70s, and we were all under like 10. And
hang on, 1 second, is this the 1870s? Carry on.
Oh, he's having a moment, Karen.
I know, he's having his moment. Go on.
No, it's fine. I think we've really destroyed the moment. So let's just move on. No, bless him. So he was there. And he was there.
Telling this fucking story, Harry. What are you on about?
Yeah,
fucking like this one. He ain't gonna fucking give up his time. Carry on, Jonathan.
Yeah, and what is it the American senators say? I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time. Yeah. Anyway, bless him. He was there, and he was there in shalvar kameez. He was from a very kind of traditional family, and he went like I was a bit of a life raft. He just kind of went, Jonathan, you're Jonathan, and I just couldn't handle him, and I just kind of went and froze him out, and never and just left him. And never saw him again. And I really, really regret that. Not because it would affect my life at all, but just because I was not in a place to do anything for him. And I wish I could go back and just go, hi, and just be nice to this poor boy who probably got sent off to Pakistan and married off, and just his life may have been miserable. I don't know. But
You're probably right.
Yeah, that's my little regret. That all the other regrets are like, oh, I didn't get into opera school. Yes, but if you had, you would never have done this, and you never met Leon, you never been in comedy, never done, or I've never did that, and I should have done that. Yes, but if you had, you wouldn't have been here, and you wouldn't have. And all the things that I am are based around things that have not gone right, really. Like my whole life, all the good things in my life have resulted from stuff that I didn't do right. But that one thing, I wish I could just go back and just give him something a bit, you know?
Nice.
That's
why we're comedians, because we're fuck ups. But that's nice.
No, I agree. People say to me, "What would you do if you weren't a comedian?" The answer is, "No, darling, I'm a comedian because I've done all of those things, and either got fired or left just before I got fired."
I'm unemployable.
Yeah. I found comedy as a last resort.
Exactly. Harriet, anything you regret or not regret doing?
Oh yeah, it's another sad one, really. I would have just like.
You better have a happy one, love, Deb. Carry on.
No pressure.
I would have set off earlier so I could have said goodbye to my mother.
Yeah. Oh, bless.
You always think, don't you, like obviously there was a whole life together, but you always focus on those last moments and, wish that you could have, but. Yeah.
So I'll tell you what happened to me.
So did you didn't get to say goodbye to her, but.
No, it was just a freak thing. Like, we didn't know we thought she had indigestion, but she'd had a heart attack. Yes. Yeah. And then my dad and brother went to get her like an overnight bag, and then she just like took her last breath and then yeah.
It's weird. I mean, we're turning it into a bit of serious thing, but it's weird you say that because my dad was given 2 months to live, so we had time for him to go and get things in order. And even though he had cancer and it was the most horrific death I've ever witnessed in my life,
God,
I have wanted him to go like your mum. I don't know, because I got the chance to say goodbye, whereas you didn't. But then
my mother, who is dying of Alzheimer's. Well, she had Alzheimer's for like a decade, and the last time I saw her was the day before she died, and she was obsessed with reading. So what you do is you go in, you talk to her for a bit, you have to sort of draw her out, and then you talk to her, and then you give her a copy of The Guardian. I may say she turned down The Sun the day she died. I don't read that, and she obsessively then read it. But it was a really hot day, so I arrived in like just a t-shirt and shorts, and I just had The Guardian under my arm. Thank you, Zoe. And so she saw it, and so she just took it from me and then was reading. And so I was trying to talk to her, and she's basically just going, I'm reading. And I'm going, so how are you? And she's like, I'm reading. And I went, so how have you been? I'm reading. Why don't you piss off and leave me alone? I'm reading. And after about half an hour of trying to talk to her, I said, would you prefer if I just came back another day and you can just get on? And she turned to me with this look of complete contempt on her face and said the last thing she'll ever say to me in this life, she just went, please yourself. And the thing is, like, it's sad. You could be sad about the fact that that's the last thing she said to me, i.e., fuck off.
Yeah.
But At the same time, one, it's sort of her. Actually, it's quite her. A lot of my bitchiness humor comes from that, her. And two, she was just, it was fine. And, you can't, I know what I'm trying to say, Harriet, is you can't get too hung up on those last moments that you can't necessarily control when the whole thing has been all right. You have to concentrate on the broader stroke.
My dad was hilariously funny on his deathbed, being rude to everybody. It's fantastic. Just quickly, going to move on to Love Dev. Love Dev, have you got a dead parent?
Not yet, but
tell us a sob story or fuck off.
Have you?
Me and my dad, we don't really get. It's an Asian thing, and we'd never have that father and son.
Are you big beefy alpha males butting heads?
No, it's just I don't know. It's a weird one. I think all Asians go through that. I wish I could change it. I mean, he's still alive. It's not like he's not dead, but. One thing I do regret doing, though, is smoking a spliff and driving my black cab and hitting the back of a bus.
Yeah. I love that.
Not going out on a cliff to save a speaker.
Nah.
No, you're all right with that.
I lost my Hackney carriage license because of that. And,
but is that how you got into comedy, though?
Yeah, one way. Yeah.
So that's a great thing, then, isn't it? The fact that you...
Yeah, because I don't really want to do it anyway.
It's a knock-on thing.
I always thought I want to be the one in the back, not the one driving it.
Right. So it's a knock-on effect, isn't it? Then I think that's the kind of thing. You can't regret that, darling. That's not a regret. That's just one of those things that impels us through life.
We're all where we are.
Let's
just put it that way. We're in this situation because of stuff we've done. It's brought us there.
We'd have been better off in prison. We'd have been better off in prison.
I'm going to wind this up in a minute, but we're going to lighten it. I'm just going to go back to one of Harriet's.
What do you mean?
I know, it's 46 minutes, mate.
No!
Wind it up. We're going to end on a happy question. One of Harriet's last ones.
To lighten. We never get to the last one, which is why I did it. Just a stupid one, because we never get to the last one.
That's why I'm doing it.
Yay! Harriet, that's a brilliant face.
Braden Apples for tips. I mean, Harriet, if I was going to wake up with apples for tits, I'd prefer a couple of pink ladies. Thank you very much.
Hey. And that's why she's the compare, ladies and gentlemen. If I have to wake up with bosoms, do they have to be as small as Braben apples? I'm upset.
They're pretty big.
No, they're not bosom big. I mean, if I'm going to wake up with bosoms, I want to go large or go home. I want to get melons. I want watermelons. I want to fucking do it. Do this shit.
You don't want bananas. Do you want bananas?
Bananas. Or pineapples with spiky bits.
Imagine two bananas there.
Yeah, 2 bananas or 2 pineapples or 2 cucumbers.
Towards you.
2 cucumbers. If I had 2 cucumbers, it'd be like having 3 penises. I could, yeah.
Small cucumbers.
I could fit 3 boys on at once.
Well, on that image, we're going to go back to the facts. So we're going to go back to the facts. Which fact do these relate to with these 3? We had the first fact, which was who has grandchildren called Seth and Clara. Now, looking at the age of Love Deb, looking at the age of Harriet, and looking at the age of Jonathan, I'm thinking it's going to be Harriet. No, just kidding, Harriet. I know you haven't spawned, Harriet. Jonathan.
I thought she got children.
No, they're not mine.
Oh.
They'd be in social.
See, I was trying to be cunning with this one. I thought Seth might waylay you, and you might think, "Oh, Harriet's obviously bred really early." And
I could have grandchildren because my son's 22. Harriet, you haven't got any kids.
Well, because she talks about kids. I'm trying to fool people. I'm not trying to. Yeah, they're mine. They're mine. They're mine.
Okay.
I've spent the day with them. They are the most surprising grandchildren in the world in the sense that I've.
Step grandchildren?
Well, not even that, really, in a sense, but sort of. As in, my partner, who is 15 years older than me, took in his sister and her baby girl when the father walked out and stripped the bank accounts and left them with fuck all, and took her in until she, from like the age of I think it's a year or 18 months until she was like 7 or 8. And when the mum managed to move around the corner, but like literally 2 streets away. But then, of course, moves into a house with sort of nothing in it. So they go back for laundry. And so basically, Michelle Shelley, Leon's her dad. And so when she gets married, she says, you know, they end up going away to get married because of other reasons. But she said, if I was going to be walked down the aisle, you'd have been the one doing it. Anyway, so then when she finally becomes pregnant with Seth 6.5 years ago, she says to my husband at that point, she says, I want you to be granddad. Because they're choosing names, so Bap and Flap and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to be called? I want to be Grandpa. I want to be Fluff. You know, people get weird ideas. And I literally said to Leon, I went, you're a granddad! Hang on a minute, what does that make me? Like, I literally did that. And then she turned to me and said, and what do you want to be called? And I'm like, huh? So I said, well, I'll be Grandmama, because then I can dress as Maggie Smith in Downton Abbey, or better yet, don't invite me to the christening, and I can come as Maleficent. Brilliant. Unfortunately, they're atheists, so no christening. So that's a wasted costume. Anyway, but blow me if she hasn't actually called me Grandma and taught them to call me Grandma.
Oh, that's good.
And honestly, I'm completely in love. And so we've now got Clara as well. And I'm completely in love with them. But the best part is that Seth can't say Grandmama, or couldn't say Grandmama. So first of all, started saying Grandmama, Mama, right? And then he started saying Grandman Mama. So I am actually Grandman Mama, and I'm like, I'm all about that. I am all about it.
Just quickly, Jonathan, if next week you can come with some funny stories, that'd be great. I'm coming with heartfelt humanity, you chisel-hearted bitch. You know what you said about your heart hasn't been used? Your heart hasn't been used because you don't know.
Oh, God.
There was fucked up families. There was everything in that story. That could be an episode of Jeremy Kyle.
Exactly. And you shat all over it, you bastard.
Good job. Who used Glade air freshener as a deodorant?
I think we know. I thought the Seth thing would send you to Harriet, but I think Glade air freshener deodorant, that's got to be Harriet.
We don't know.
The thing is, though, it's done in order. I'm always the middle person.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Is that true?
Yes,
I'm always the second one.
Why did you
change that up, Jim?
Because I had no deodorant.
Did it sting?
Yeah.
It's not using deodorant, darling.
Well, once I used toothpaste and that.
And the rabbit.
Yeah.
Darling, sanitizer,
Colgate.
baby wipes, sanitizer.
No, Jonathan, I work with what's near me.
Hang on. Jim's come out not true. I think he's talking to you, Harriet.
Who's not true?
Oh. To differ. I'm always the second one, am I not?
Who knows?
You're always middling.
Deaf to get free entry into the cinema. Love Dev. I didn't expect it for you. I'm gobsmacked.
I am a bit gobsmacked.
It's quite a funny story, actually.
Is it?
I haven't got time. Thanks, then.
Shut up, Keris. We need a funny story.
It's a very funny story. So basically, my brother's deaf, and he said to me, I can get you into the cinema for free. And I was like, wow, really? He's like, yeah, all deaf people could get in and watch a film. So anyway, we went to the cinema. You know where the Glee Club is in Birmingham?
Yeah.
There used to be a cinema right there next door to it, the AMC. And anyway, I went with a couple of my mates, and he took a few of his mates, and he goes, I'll do the talkie. So he went up to the cashier, to the booth, and he got, did all that.
Did all that? Have you not learned sign language?
We're deaf, and I don't know why I was doing this. That was my first one. Anyway, the funniest thing about the story
You think there's a deaf face?
Yeah, there is. Anyway, the funniest thing about it is we all walked off, and then all of a sudden we heard a voice going, "Excuse me, excuse me, you forgot your tickets." And we all turned around. She didn't even clock. We all turned around.
I could sense the vibration in the floor.
In the floor. Yeah. I'm very psychic. I might be deaf, but I'm
so
very
funny.
psychic.
I love it.
Hilarious.
That's amazing. But surely a disabled person can get a card that gets a person.
Oh, now you do. Yeah, you get a card now.
Yeah.
So back in those days,
all of that was bollocks, wasn't it?
No, it actually happened.
I'm not saying it wasn't true. I'm just saying you didn't need to do any of it.
This is
that was different then. You never had cards then.
Back then.
Oh, a long time ago this was.
Oh, 19th century.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is basically We're control over this bit of shit. If you've been watching at home, please share the link for us. That'd be most appreciated. We'd like some more viewers after the fact. And donate. Love Dev, have you got anything coming up? Do you want to promote
the UK Pun Off this Sunday, 7 p.m. through Joke Pit Live.
Fabulous. Harriet?
I'll just go to my Facebook page, Harriet Dyer Comedy, and my occurrences shall be there.
Occurrences?
Yeah.
I shall occur.
Yeah.
Jonathan?
Just Facebook page, Twitter, and Jonathan Mayer Reads, obviously. Can I just say, though, Harriet... Jacqueline and Dinosaur, they'd better be back next week because I'm very upset about the lack of Jacqueline and Dinosaur.
Sorry.
Yeah,
over there.
It's like you don't care. It's like you don't care about us. Actually,
okay, sorry, Jonathan.
I mean, he's in Love Deb's fringe today. You can't expect her to get everything.
Oh, I see. Oh, they won't fit. I take it back, Harriet. I beg your pardon. Of course, dinosaurs and ducklings are allergic to fringes. I understand.
What we say now is, Harriet, next week, just obviously before you make your journey to wherever you're going, remember to incorporate the duck and the dinosaur.
Duck and the dinosaur.
Small.
And ensure they'll be comfortable.
Maybe Jurassic Park next week.
I thought you'd never ask.
Anyway, this has been Spouting Nonsense. Love Deb, Harriet, Jonathan.
Bye. Bye. Thank you for being with us.